Hello guys, welcome back to Legatum Gaming, and today we have a new game for you, Dead by Daylight. Finally, this game has hit consoles after what seems an eternity of it being on the PC, but nevertheless it is here, and we shall show you a look at the killers. As you can see, I've played a few. I haven't actually played as a killer yet. I've played a few games as a survivor, and it's takes a little bit of getting used to, I must say. But nevertheless, here they are. We have 6 killers. I know on the PC you have 7. We're missing the Shape, Michael Myers, which I'm really disappointed about because I love Michael Myers. Well, not that I love him in that sort of sense, because if I saw him he'd probably stab me and cut my head straight off, but I think he's an awesome killer, and the Halloween franchise is a brilliant franchise. So hopefully they shall bring it out in the DLC for the consoles very soon. Anyway, let's get into it with the killers that we have on show now. First off, we have the Trapper. His power is the Bear Trap. Set bear traps to immobilize and injure trap victims. He starts the match with 1 bear trap, but he is able to find 5 others that are randomly placed on the map. It looks pretty menacing, to be honest. That mask is probably covering a horrific face. Let's have a look at his character info. I'm not going to read any of the bios. If you do want to have a look at them, just let me know and I can do another video on them. Not that I think you will want that. Right, so we have perks. These are teachable perks which you unlock as you progress said killer's level. The first one here unlocks at level 30, next 35, and the final one at 40. These are unique to each character. Same with survivors, they have teachable unique perks as well. So for the Trapper you have Unnerving Presence. Your presence alone installs great fear. Survivors within your terror radius have a 3% greater chance of triggering skill checks when repairing, healing or sabotaging. Triggered skill checks success zone are reduced by 5%. So that means it's more likely to have more checks where you have to press L1 for the PlayStation 4 to stop it, or basically it interferes with what you're doing and takes down the amount of success you've had in repairing the generator or healing somebody. Which is a pretty cool perk to have. The level 35 perk is Brutal Strength. Your great strength allows you to shred through each prey's defenses, destroying drop barricades 20% faster. So that's another good one. Agitation. You get excited in anticipation of hooking your prey. Increases your speed while transporting bodies by 6%. If you're struggling to find a hook, it can be quite frustrating because the survivors can wiggle free and stun you as they do so. So you need to be aware of that. Like I said, his power is the Bear Trap, which is pretty self-explanatory. You lay it down, a survivor walks into it, makes a noise, and you can run over and grab him before he can escape it. And the Trapper's weapon of choice is a cleaver, as you can see in his hand now. His perks are focused mainly on physical attributes, making use of strength and fear. So that's the Trapper for you. Let's move on to the Rafe. His power is the Wailing Bell, charge action that grants near total invisibility. Faster movement when cloaked, and cannot attack or interact while cloaked, so he must decloak himself before he can hit you or pick you up, basically. Right, his perks. Level 30 perk is Predator. Your acute tracking ability allows you to follow disturbances left by passing prey over a longer period of time. Footstep marks stay visible 1 second longer than normal. Bloodhound. Like a hunting scent hound, you smell traces of blood at a great distance. Fresh blood marks are slightly more discernible than normal and can be tracked for 2 seconds longer than normal. Shadowborn. You have a keen vision in the darkness of the night. Your vision is 25% more clearer. Highly sensitive to light, you get blinded 20% faster than normal and take 50% more time to recover from this condition. So that's quite an up and down perk. If people have torches, you will be blinded a lot easier and for a longer period of time. But if it gets dark in areas, which it can do, your visibility is a lot better. Like I say, he has a wailing bell, which is a heavy cast iron bell embedded with ancient powers, allows its user to enter and walk the spirit world when rung. So in effect, you charge this up, and when you ring it, it makes a holy bing bong sound, and you can then cloak and go invisible. But like I said before, once you're invisible, you can't actually interact with anything. It's sort of just a movement for you as such. You can move faster, as I said. The Rafe's perks are mainly about tracking and hunting, and it makes it easier to catch and kill the survivors. His weapon of choice is the Azareth's skull, which is quite a menacing looking weapon, as you can see. Getting hit with that does hurt. Next we have the Hillbilly. His power is the chainsaw. You break into a crazed sprint on charge activation, but you have limited steering capabilities while sprinting. You don't want to make it too easy for the Hillbilly to kill everyone when he goes nuts with his chainsaw. Automatically puts in the dying state on a successful hit from the chainsaw. So the chainsaw is a very strong weapon if you can actually hit someone with it. This dude looks like he's just came off the set of The Hills Have Eyes. Right. His perks. He has enduring. You are resilient to pain. Recovery from the stun condition caused by physical objects is increased by 25%. Recovery from physical stun condition caused by perks is increased by 20%. Lightborn. Unlike other beasts of the fog, you have adapted to light. Your vision is dimmed by 25%, but you can endure strong lights. Resistant to blindness is increased by 20%. Recovery from blindness is increased by 50%. So basically that's the opposite of the Rafes in effect. Tinkerer. Add-ons that affect the charge time of your power are 6% more effective. Okay, that's pretty cool. A hulking and deadly chainsaw of terrifying strength grinds through flesh, bone and soul. Once revved up, sends its user into a violent frenzy. Break into a crazed sprint on activation, and it automatically puts survivors into a dying state on a successful hit. The Hillbilly is about persistence and resilience. Makes it harder for survivors to foil the Hillbilly. His weapon of choice is that massive fucking hammer that will smash straight through your skull. Next up we have the Nurse. Her power is Spencer's Last Breath, or the Blink. You can blink up to 20 meters on charge activation, can blink twice before becoming fatigued, can perform a lethal blink attack after blinking. So a blink, for you that don't know, is basically like a teleportation, and it is scary as fuck if you're sitting there trying to fix a generator and she blinks up right behind you. It scares the living shit out of you. Let's go into her perks. So you have Strider. You are Acutely sensitive to the breathing of your prey. Breathing of survivors in pain is 25% louder. So it makes it a lot easier to locate survivors. What the fuck in the world does that even say? I'll attempt it. Thanatobia. That is more than likely wrong, so don't be too harsh about me. Their courage fades in the face of their undeniable morality. All survivors receive penalties to repair, healing and sabotage speeds. For each injured, dying or hooked survivor, one injured, dying or hooked survivor, 4% reduced action speed, 2, 7%, 3, 10%, and 4 injured, dying or hooked survivors, 13% reduced action speed, which is really, that's decent, that's very good, because it takes a hell of a long time to heal people and repair generators as it is. So if you've got people on hooks, which is the whole idea of the game, it just helps you out a lot more having that extra percentage to reduce their speed. And the level 40 perk, A Nurse's Calling, unlocks potential in one's aura reading ability. The auras of survivors who are healing or being healed are revealed to you when they are within a 20-meter range, which is quite a distance because the maps are quite small. The aura, I do believe, is when the killers just see the survivors as a red person, in essence. Spencer's Last Breath, a powerful and violent last breath snatched from Crotus Pren Asylum Warden Patrick Spencer. Channeling its energy allows the nurse to pierce and jump through the spirit world in a blink, multiple times in a row. Doing so leaves her in a state of fatigue. So if she does it too much, if you're lucky, she'll be fatigued and you can try and run off before she grabs you or smacks you. The nurse's perks are focused on spotting and tracking. There's nowhere survivors can hide, basically. So just be prepared if you're playing against the nurse to run a lot. Her weapon of choice is that menacing bone saw. On first looks, the nurse was the coolest looking one for me. Well, I say coolest, the scariest looking, because she looks fucking madness. Then we have the Hag. Her power is the Blackened Catalyst. Grants the ability to create and maintain 10 phantasm traps. Grants the ability to instantly travel to triggered phantasms when within a 32-meter range. Survivors who enter the trap area trigger a phantasm of the Hag to appear and disorientate the survivor. Basically, her power, she can move have this phantasm in a straight line, and she can zip along it basically very fast. Let's go on to her perks. Hex, the third seal. A hex that hinders one's aura reading ability. Hitting a survivor while the hex totem is active reduces the effectiveness of their aura reading ability by 100%. This effect applies to the last 2 survivors hit. The hex effect persists as long as the related hex totem is standing. So I think you have to find the hex totem with this killer, power it up, and then the survivors, their aura to be able to see other survivors, to see what's happening around in the map is just fucked basically. You can't see anything. Hex Ruin is her level 35 perk. A hex that affects the survivor's skills at repairing generators. 2 survivors are affected by Ruin, which causes the following. Good skill checks result in 5% regression on the generator. Oh, okay. Great skill checks grant 0% bonus progression on the generator. So once again, another perk that hinders your ability to fix generators. Hex Devour Hope. A hex rooting its power on hope. The false hope of survivors ignites your hunger. When a survivor is rescued from a hook at least 24 meters away, Devour Hope receives a token. 5 tokens grants the ability to kill survivors by your own hand. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool, but I think that would be quite difficult to get to 5 tokens, but still, it'd be nice to actually kill someone instead of letting the entity do it. The source of the hag's power, a blackened finger used as a catalyst for her terrible power. The hag bends and shapes mud to her will with simple ritualistic drawings. She creates deceitful duplicates of herself made from the mud and decay, which she can use for various effects. And you guys better watch out for some mud bombs coming. She's gonna fucking hit you in the back of the head with some of those. So grants the ability to create and maintain 10 phantasm traps. Grants the ability to instantly travel to triggered phantasm traps when within a 32 meter range. The hag's perks are focused on cursing the survivors and zapping their abilities, and them being able to recharge the generator, for example. And her weapon of choice is them mangled fingers you can see, called the Claw. And last but certainly not least, we have the Doctor. His power is Carter's Spark, and he has a hell of a lot of stuff he can do by the looks of things. Grants the ability to switch between punishment and treatment modes. Use treatment mode to build up survivor madness. While in treatment mode, generate a static field based off your terror radius, which increases survivor madness based on proximity in relation to the Doctor. Survivors entering madness, these are set in tiers, so entering madness tier 1, 2 or 3, they scream, revealing their position to the Doctor. Madness tier 2 and 3 cause survivors to experience Doctor hallucinations, which I can assure you is fucking scary as anything you will see, which can be seen by the Doctor as an aura. In Madness Tier 3, survivors regularly scream, revealing their position to the Doctor, which once again is hella annoying. In Madness Tier 3, survivors cannot do interactions until they snap out of it. More afflictions are available with add-ons. So yeah, you can add up to 2 add-ons onto your selected item to make it more powerful. The Doctor's perks. Overwhelming presence. Your presence alone instills great fear. Survivors within your terror radius suffer from inefficiency. Affected survivors' items consumption rate are increased by 40%. Monitor and abuse. Meticulous in your approach, terrifying in your application. While in a chase, your terror radius is increased by 6 meters. Otherwise, your terror radius is decreased by 6 meters, and your field of view is slightly increased. That's pretty good. They're all quite good perks. They have their pluses, they have their strengths and their weaknesses, which is good because you don't want the killers to be too overpowered or the game will be pointless. Overcharge. You are fueled by your hate for progress. Overcharge a generator by performing the break generator action. The next survivor interacting with the generator is faced with a moderately difficult skill check. Failing the skill check results in additional 3% generator regression. Succeeding the skill check grants no progression but prevents the generator explosion. Which, yeah, another good perk. They do like their perks that hinder us fixing generators. Okay, so it is a gift or a curse. Is it a gift or a curse? The entity has ignited a corrupted and inexhaustible spark in the Doctor's heart, which allows him to generate electroconvulsive power at his will. His insidious treatment corrupts the minds of those it touches. Victims shocked by the corrupt spark begin to lose their grip on reality, and with repeated exposure inevitably succumb to the madness. Switch stance. Punishment mode is used to injure survivors, i.e. hit them with your weapon. Treatment mode grants the abilities static field and shock therapy, which, like said before, it turns them mad, gives them the 3 tiers of madness. Static field, while in treatment, generate a static field equal to your terror radius, which increases survivor madness based on proximity to the doctor. Shock therapy. Treatment mode grants the ability to charge and release a shock therapy attack that greatly increases survivors' madness. Madness tier 1, we've already been through them, but I'll go over it again quickly. Tier 1 causes survivors to scream. Tier 2 gives you the same effects from Tier 1 and shared hallucinations. Tier 3 gives you all the effects from Tier 2. You have the shared hallucinations intensify, allowing the doctor to read their auras. Survivors regularly scream as well, so the doctor can locate their position. That survivors can't heal, repair or sabotage, search or cleanse until they snap out of it. The doctor is all about hindering and causes psychotic problems for the survivors, infusing fear and terror in those around him. And his weapon of choice is the stick. I do believe it's electrified as well. I can't confirm that, but I'm pretty sure it is. And there's your 6 killers, guys. Hopefully I'll be able to bring another video soon showing you Michael Myers. I really hope it comes fast. But that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. Please give it a like if you found it informative at all. If you would, please subscribe as well. That would be much appreciated. And have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching.